instance. I didn't know how realistic it was to integrate that into Starcraft 2 multiplayer, where you might have 8, 10 players, on multiple maps at multiple times.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite understanding the question here.
So in Warcraft 3, the bonus campaign, there was a main map, and then from there you went to what would be an instance in Warcraft, but you actually switched maps. So you actually went to Thunder Ridge with the lizards and different things. So I didn't know how plausible it was to actually hook multiple maps together in a multiplayer setting for StarCraft 2.
You know what? We haven't really explored linking multiplayer maps together. That was something that, when we did that in Warcraft 3, that was a bunch of designers towards the end of the development cycle there that we got really excited, which were kind of going off the World of Warcraft because they were developing simultaneously at the time. But that's a really good suggestion. That's something we should probably take a look at as far as linking maps together on a multiplayer experience.
Hi, so I noticed going from War 3 to StarCraft 2, there's been a lot of improvements to the editor, but as far as BNet goes, there seems to be a lack of options for, like, let's say Dota. There's a lot of game modes, and you might not want to play all random, but maybe like all pick. Is there going to be any way to add filters to that for maps in the future?
The only thing I could really say about Battle.net is it's really an ongoing experience for us. Just as we're creating custom maps and we're trying to look at ways to improve the editor, we're constantly looking for ways to improve the Battle.net itself too.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello. I was wondering if we could have some sort of high score screen over a region or worldwide for our maps.
You can actually do some of that already using the bank system in the triggers. You can store whatever stats that you want. Like, say I won your map, you can store that on my computer, and then you can actually load that data into the map, and then you can list out all of the stats. That you can do right now. And of course, in the future, we're always looking to add even more functionality.
Hey, the popularity system seems to be based on a number of games played. So right now it seems to be making a one-player tower defense that lasts 5 minutes would top the charts. Do you plan to include number of players and how long a game lasts into the popularity system?
I kind of caught a little bit. You're talking about the popular system for the custom maps?
Yeah, do you plan to include the number of players in a map so that not every popular map has like 2 or 3 players? Like some maps have 8 players and they're really far down the charts because of that.
Sure, yeah, no, that's a really good piece of feedback. The custom screen, the joining the custom game screen, it's still a work in progress. It's something that from the moment we shipped until the recent patches, we've already made some adjustments to it. But, that would be a great idea as far as being able to search based on the number of players, because you're looking for you and your friend to find a cool 2-player custom map on popular games that way.
So in World of Warcraft, you have spell power, which is a nice stat you get, boosts the powers of your abilities, etc., etc. Is it possible to remake something like this in StarCraft 2, a custom stat that affects your abilities and boosts the power of them, and then further have in the tooltip it show you how much base damage that ability do, and then how much extra damage it's going to do based on your spell power or whatever you want to call it?
Blizzard Dota is already actually doing a lot of what you're talking about, and you can actually do a lot of that right now. You can define custom attributes, whatever you want, and then you can have those, your abilities, you can have your abilities tie into those attributes. So like if I have an int attribute, an intelligence attribute, and I want that to improve the damage of a spell, you can actually do that. And of course, we're always looking at improving those abilities as well.
I would actually look into using dialogues too, because you can update a mouse over tooltip on the fly. Because I think you're specifically saying that my fireball does 300 plus 200 damage, so it does 500 damage. Yeah, you can actually use dialogues to do that right now.
Hi, right now when you're trying to create an artistic asset, you basically have to have your own image editor, sound editor, and then import it back to the Galaxy editor. Is there any plan in the future where you guys going to integrate things like image editor or sound editor inside the Galaxy editor itself, instead of having us to use Photoshop or other sound editor?
Well, I think that I'm not sure if we're going to be able to expose all of those different tools to you, but I know that we do have plans to release and expose our art tools sometime between now and the shipping of Legacy of the Void. I'm sorry. It is something that we are working on, though.
Yeah, I would like to add to that too, is that one of the things going through our process is we got a discussion now creating a UI editor. You know, this is something that wasn't even on a table about a month ago, but by us going through all this, we've now kind of set our energy to also adding another tool to the editor.
I had a question about the sort of lobby system, where I'd love to create something that requires you to be in specific slots, but I'm not that good with the triggers and such, and it seems really annoying to have that first come, first serve pick race once you enter the game. I mean, a lot of people don't really know about that, so I was just wondering, are you going to have some way of creating a system within the lobby to change your player slots? And sort of the next question would be, do you, specifically for something like Starcraft 2 debates, where there's a lot of trolls, or for like Starcraft beta, Dota, there's also a lot of trolls in that. Is there a way that you can, or are you going to implement some sort of ban system where if you are in a Dota game and some guy is just feeding continuously and you just want to ban him personally, do you think that there's a way that you could do that from the whole game as an editor?
I definitely want to address the question about the lobby slots in Battle.net. This is an issue that in all of our custom mods, Blizzard Dota in particular, we came face to face with ourselves. And it's definitely something that we want to improve in the future. For the question about banning, we have no plans to do that at this time.
Hey, how's it going? First, I have an idea and then a question. The way maps are ranked right now is by plays. It's basically if there's 500 plays an hour, it'll be ranked up pretty high. But games that take a long time to play it, one of my friends has a game that takes about an hour to get through sometimes, and he can't have a lot of plays per hour because it takes so long to get through. There needs to be a lot more players playing his map for it to be bumped up as high as like Nexus Wars, which only takes a couple minutes to play. So I just wanted to give that idea for maybe a future way to rank maps. Do it by time instead of by number of plays, like how long the map has been played, the grand total of all players combined. I don't know. You guys probably have a better idea already in the works, but just a thought. Also, my question is, are you able to give any details right now on how maps might in the future be chosen to be a premium map, or is that so much in the works that everything's up in the air?
It's so still in the works right now that we're not quite sure how we're going to approach the premium maps versus the free content.
Hi there. Can you inform me on any information as towards single-player custom campaigns?
I'm sorry, the single-player custom campaign?
Correct. Like people creating them.
Oh, who created all the campaign missions?
No, like us creating them for fans.
So the question is, when will you be able to create your own single-player custom campaign?
Yeah.
Well, this was certainly something that you could do in Warcraft 3, and it's definitely something we'd like to implement in the future.
Hi. I was wondering if you're going to be releasing any like updates to the Galaxy editor. I know a lot of my friends use it all the time, and a lot of them complain about how it can be a little bit laggy or buggy at times, especially with like Vespene geysers and SCVs moving around it in messed up ways.
Yeah, I mean, in future updates to the editor, we're constantly looking at both performance and usability.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody.
That's you and Tall, right?
Any last words, you guys? Anything else to close with?
No, I'm just really excited that you guys all came here to listen to our maps or talk about